Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a while since I posted a video and I'm sorry about that, but I've just been very busy because somehow I managed to have all my products arrive in Amazon within 1 week of each other. So I've just been very busy with getting the photos ready and getting the listing optimized, basically ready to launch the products, and also deciding on what launch strategy I want to use. So I've been messing around with Facebook ads and PPC. So basically I just want to create this video giving you an update on all my products and basically how they're going and how I'm planning to launch them. So if you want more updates on my Amazon FBA journey, please be sure to drop a like because it just tells YouTube that you enjoy this kind of content and it'll show it to more people. Okay, there's a lot for me to unpack and go through here, so I'm reading off a notebook, so if you see me occasionally look down, that's what I'm doing. Okay, to start with, my first product that I found in around November or December time, shortly after I found out about Amazon FBA and began doing some product research, arrived first, and there's been quite a few issues with this product. Firstly being that basically a lot of new sellers have entered the market for this product, bringing the price down. A lot of Chinese sellers basically undercutting each other to the point now where I think the price which I was intending to sell it at is going to be about 50% lower now. So my profit margins are going to be a lot smaller. If not, I'll be making a small loss, but hopefully I'll be able to break even with it. So it's a bit of a shame that's my first product. I don't think it's going to be a raging success, but it's just part of the learning experience. I think a lot of people say your first product will probably be a failure, and I'm not considering it a failure at this point, but realistically I'm not expecting massive things from that. So yeah, I've been sourcing that since Q4, and that's another thing, hopefully a little lesson you can take away here. If you're finding a product, if you're doing product research in Q4, try and get an idea as to whether that product is going to be seasonal, because that's not something I quite realized at the time. But during Q4, certain products are going to see 3-4 times X on their demand. So don't base the amount of demand you're buying off those kind of figures, but I did. So I've got 1,000 units of them now, so hopefully I'll be able to sell through them relatively shortly. I'm not looking to make a lot of money on, so I'm just going to basically compete on price, and worst case scenario, I'll still have them by Q4 and they should be gone by then. Another issue with this product was when I found it, my idea to differentiate it really wasn't that creative. In fact, there was already one, if not two other sellers doing it, and maybe I could have got away with that then in sort of December time. But now there's probably about 5 or 6 other sellers doing that. So really, there's nothing particularly unique about my product anymore. So I can't really compete on that front. So it's just going to be a case of competing on price. Okay, that's enough about that product. So on to the next product. This is one I'm a lot more confident about. In fact, it's probably my favorite product for a few reasons. So I've had this in the works for around 3 months now. And basically it's in a growing niche. It's a new market that sort of opened up, especially in the UK. It's probably a bit more saturated in the US. But in the UK, it's sort of a new market, and yeah, I feel like I've done a lot, plenty to differentiate it, especially with the photos in particular. My main image just stands out a lot more than the other sellers. Theirs is always just like the product itself, where mine is like the whole package that comes with it. So I think it looks better in that respect. And I'm also really grateful because the person who sort of mentors me and whose course I did, he's called Donovan. He's another Amazon FBA UK seller. I'll leave all his links in the description so you can check him out. He puts out really good content. He's actually signed a sort of a Amazon photo optimization service where basically you'll send the photos of your product and his team will basically optimize them and create infographics around them. So I'm getting 4 photos done by his team, basically showing why my product's important, how it works, and just other things that are basically going to help improve the listing, improve the conversion rate, and hopefully set my listing apart from other sellers. Okay, so in terms of how profitable this product should be, my landed cost of goods is £4.20 per unit, and I'm intending to sell it for around £20. So obviously that gives me a really good markup and plenty of room to play with PPC. So yeah, I'm just really excited to get that one launched because I think that'll do really well. Okay, finally on to the third product. Again, this is one I'm really excited about. Just the quality of the product, I was really impressed with what my supplier produced. I've differentiated in such a way where I'm going to be the only one offering what I am offering. The demand's really strong. Perhaps the demand is a bit seasonal towards sort of December, January time, but it's still a really good product. So I really expect that to sell well. I've got 2 variations. I've got a 3-pack which I'm bundling with another item, and then just a single by itself. So hopefully this product does well, and hopefully it does, because I'm trying to build this more out into a brand, because there's plenty of other products sort of in this sort of niche that I could sell in. So hopefully if this one does well, I'll be able to expand. There's like already 3 or 4 other products that my supplier can produce sort of in the same niche. Okay, that's been a little overview of the 3 products I've currently got in Amazon. If you've got any questions about any of the 3 products, just drop a comment below saying either product 1, 2 or 3, and I'll be sure to to get that answered for you. Okay, the next thing I'll go over is how I'm planning to launch my products and what I've tried already. Okay, a few weeks ago I made a video on why I thought launch services and things like viral launch were still effective and alright, and that video didn't age very well because within a week or so people started reporting that they had got accounts suspended. Now, to be honest, I think this was probably a little bit overblown, and I didn't actually find any examples of people in the UK marketplace saying they'd got account suspensions, but either way, viral launch are only offering up to 65% off discounts now, so I actually emailed them saying whether it would still be effective for my products and the fact that I'm a new seller and I've got a new account, and they said it's probably not because they can't guarantee they're going to be able to give away the units you need them to at 65% off, as opposed to 90-95% off what they used to do. So for that reason, they probably they're not really recommending it right now. So instead, I've been using a Facebook ads launch strategy where basically I'm creating Facebook ads with a link to like my products and saying like 75% off, 80% off, and connecting the codes up to the ads. So when people see the ads scrolling through Facebook, all they got to do is click on it. It opens up the Amazon page, they've just got to add my product to their basket, and by the time they get to the final checkout, the discount's been applied. And for the first few days, this was working really well. I'll put a screenshot up of the sales. Now, these sales don't take into account promotions for whatever reason, so obviously the actual figure is going to be a quarter of what they actually say they are. But either way, I was selling enough units to get ranked for the main keywords I was going after. But for whatever reason, after a day, 2 of my products just weren't selling anymore, even with the 75% discounts. People were actually clicking on the ad on Facebook, but for whatever reason, they weren't actually going ahead and getting it on Amazon. Whether that was an issue with the codes or with the ad, I don't know, but I could never really get it going again like how it was going on the first day or two. But one product still carried on doing really well, so I've been able to effectively launch that to 10th position for the main keyword right now after about 5 days. Now, the ad got turned off yesterday, so I didn't get any sales that day, but I've got it back on now, so hopefully I should see that get ranked for the top 5 search results for the main keyword. And that's the first product I'm talking about where the price has come down a lot. So how am I planning on launching my other 2 products? Well, firstly, I've turned on PPC now for both of them, and I'm basically doing a manual and an auto campaign, with the manual keywords being ones that I found on Helium 10. In my last video, I went over a PPC launch strategy, and I'm using a slight variation on that, so I'll link in the top right that video if you want to go check that out. But I'm not targeting a single keyword this time. I'm just going after 50 to 100 keywords and giving that a daily budget. If I do find that I'm not ranking for my main keyword, I might give that a bit of extra boost and do a campaign solely targeting that keyword. But I've just turned that on today, so it's probably going to be a week before I have any sort of meaningful data to report back on. So basically, I'm going to let the PPC campaigns run for maybe a week or 2, and if I don't see that I'm climbing up the search results fast enough for my main keywords, I'll probably then create a Facebook ad again targeting those main keywords just to give them a bit of an extra boost. And so within 2-3 weeks, I really am hoping to be in the top 3 to 5 results for my main keywords. So Helium 10 has a feature where it actually tracks your ranking for whatever keywords you put in for your products day by day. So I can basically in a week or 2's time create a video showing you how it's progressed and whether I'm getting the kind of results I'm looking for. Okay, finally, I thought I'd finish off with 5 key lessons that I've picked up as I've gone down this journey. Firstly, differentiation is key with this business model. At the end of the day, you've got to put yourself in the customer's shoes and basically give them a really obvious reason to pick yours over competitors. I know it sounds obvious, and pretty much every FBA YouTuber goes on about it, but it is really important because if you don't, all you can really do is compete on price, and at the end of the day, Chinese suppliers that have access to the actual cheaper products and can get them into the country for cheap are always going to win a price war. So you don't want to be competing on price really. You want to just make sure that your product is better in some way so you can justify charging a high price. Okay, next up, product photography is also really important, especially your main image. It needs to convey why your product's the best, and basically whenever a customer sees it scrolling through Amazon, they're immediately drawn to yours. They're going to click it, they're going to see that you're offering the best product, so if you've done the differentiation right, that'll then lead them to buy. Okay, next up is get your product to Amazon and selling as soon as possible. Now, I'm not saying rush into a product, definitely do your due diligence and watch to make sure the demand is consistent, but once you've put your deposit down, make sure that you're doing everything you can to get them made and brought to Amazon as soon as possible. I began sourcing my first product in late November, and it took about 6 months to get them into Amazon. Now, this was due to a lot of factors such as Chinese New Year and the inspection taking a long time and the shipping being delayed. Basically, any kind of delay that could have stopped them from getting here happened, and this basically allowed a load of other competitors to come into the market and start getting reviews and sales history all before I could even get my product selling. So that means if your product is fairly lightweight, go with air shipping, or if not, do maybe like 50-50, or just get a few units in by air. That's what I've done with my third product. I did 250 units by air and the other 500 by sea. But just get your product in Amazon and selling, so you can basically start getting those reviews, start getting that sales history, and it's just basically going to give you a leg up over any other competitors that enter after you. Okay, number 4 is don't view anything as a failure. If you're letting the fear of failure stop you from starting this business, then please don't let it. Just take the plunge, get your first product going, because you're going to learn so much. Trust me, even if it doesn't work out, even if you break even or make a small loss, as long as you're learning and not getting disheartened, then you will eventually be successful with this business model, with anything really. So don't ever view anything as a failure, just view it as a learning experience. And the 5th one is, while probably the best time to start this business was 5 to 10 years ago, the second best time is today. I've had a few people message me wondering whether Amazon FBA is saturated or whether I think it's still a good opportunity. And of course, while it's slightly more saturated than it was years ago, it's still an amazing opportunity, and Amazon is growing year on year. So by getting on board now and not giving up after your first or second or third product, you'll likely be very successful with this business. Okay, finally, going forward, I'm intending to make plenty of videos showing you how the launch goes, basically, how well I start to rank, how well the sales start going, and basically any other aspect of my business as it starts going forward. Okay, if you enjoy these kind of updates and want to see more of them, then please be sure to drop a like and comment. It just helps YouTube show this kind of content to more people. Also, if you're not subscribed yet, then please do. I realize I'm almost at 100 subscribers, which is quite incredible to think, considering I only started this YouTube channel 2 or 3 months ago. So again, if you're not subscribed, please do. Also, I've had a few people ask me what course I did, so I'll leave a link to Ben's course in the description. He's recently updated a load of sections, loads of new content. He's constantly putting out loads of new stuff, so I highly recommend it. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.